Welcome to Kayfabe Crimes, the podcast where wrestling is not an alibi. I'm Kim.
And I'm Aaron, and together we're going to discuss the crimes committed by AEW wrestlers during the last week. Before we start, we are going to go over some ground rules to make sure that everybody's on the same page that we are when we are discussing the criminal activities. First, we won't be discussing anything that is said in promos or just anything said, basically, because we feel like we'd be there forever discussing this and everybody would have a million years of convicted crimes.
Yeah, the point of a promo is to rile up your opponent, so It would be stupid.
Number two, anything that happens during a match that the ref actually sees is counted as legal. We're going to allow the refs to be the arbiters of the law while they are in the ring. This also includes that if both people are in the middle of the ring and they start a match with punching each other before the bell rings, bell to bell, anything that happens that the referee sees is counted as illegal.
Side note, we are based in the UK, so we are using UK law as we have a slightly better understanding of that than American law.
That is not to say that either of us are lawyers or police. We are just doing this as something fun for ourselves so we can get a bit more enjoyment out of watching our AEW every week.
So we are going to start with Dynamite, of course, and I want to start with how amazing it is to have Kenny back. Like, he is the god of pro wrestling, and I've missed him, and I don't even know, like, I love him so much.
With you saying him to god of pro wrestling, it's great to be seeing him being treated as that as now. Like, obviously, Kenny's had a tough time getting back to wrestling, and whatever he's happy doing, and we are just happy to see him on our screens. But the fact that they're treating him as the final boss is just making it so much better.
Oh, I agree. But I guess we should probably talk about some crime.
So the first crime we're going to talk about is during the tag team match between Hologram and Powerhouse Hobbs versus Cage and Driscoll. So what happened in this one was during the match, while Driscoll was in the corner, Beast Mortos grabbed him and choked him a little bit, and a bit later on he was thrown outside the ring, and then the Beast Mortos started kicking him while he was on the floor, and then Harley Race came in and stopped it. So before looking at this, we're going to have a look at what assault is defined as in the UK. So first off, we've got common assault, which is when a person inflicts violence on somebody else or makes them think they are going to be attacked. It does not have to involve physical violence. Then you have ABH, which is actual body harm, means the assault that has caused some hurt or injury to the victim. Physical injury does not need to be serious or permanent, but must be more than trifling or transient. And grievous bodily harm, which I don't think we need to go into because I don't think the attacker went that far.
No, it definitely didn't go that far. You see, I was thinking ABH until we got to the does not need to be serious or permanent, but has to be more than trifling or transient. So, you know, maybe it is common assault. Yeah,
I'm going to agree with you a little bit on that point there. With it being trifling or transient, so trifling, my understanding is it's got to be a bit more than just a couple of kicks and a couple of punches, and I feel like that literally is what just happened there. So what we're going to do next is have a look at what we think the sentencing would be. So we are by the way, all the websites we're using for these descriptions and for sentences, etc., will be available on our website, kayfabecrimes.com, once the episode is up. So what we're going to go through now is on this website there's a matrix that determines how bad the attack was and what the sentencing would be. So first you've got to be able to see what the culpability bit is. This is the weight of, you know, how serious it was and what characteristics is presented, which falls under the level of culpability. This should be like how damaging, did the person mean to do it, how much damage did they do, etc. So to be high culpable, you've got to be a significant degree of planning or predetermination. So did Beast Mortos sit there and think, I'm going to go and attack Hologram? Or was it
probably?
Or was it just a spare of the moment thing? He saw the opportunity, he's going to do it.
I'd say a mix, you know.
Yeah. Was the victim obviously vulnerable due to age, personal characteristics or circumstances?
Definitely not.
No. Use of a highly dangerous weapon or weapons?
Nope.
strangulation, suffocation, or asphyxiation. So yes, because
he strangled him, didn't he?
He gave him a little choke in the corner. A little choke. So I say from them 2 points, I say he's highly culpable, rather than the other two. There is medium culpability and lesser culpability.
So lesser culpability would be no weapon used, but I don't know.
No, he choked himself. I think he just fits straight into the high culpability straight away. I think we discussed the other ones. So then, how much harm was actually caused? So category 1 is serious physical injury or serious psychological harm or substantial impact upon victims. I don't think it was neither of them. Category 2 is neither falls in category 1 or 3. That's nice and simple, that one. Category 3, some level of physical injury or psychological harm was with limited impact upon the victim. I say that was the one that was for me.
Yeah, I'd say category 3.
So it's category 3 and A. So we're looking at the table that is provided. It is either 36, starting from 36 weeks custody all the way up to 6 months custody. 1 year to 6 months custody inside. So basically now we've got to decide where on that point we think it's going to range. I think for keeping it level across all the boards, when we hit what level it is, I think we just go highest for everybody. So then we're making it fair. Yeah. Also look funnier when we do the tables.
I mean, yeah. Yeah, so you missed a bit there. It says 1 year, 6 months custody. So we're giving him 1 year, 6 months.
I think 1 year, 6 months for that attack.
Okay.
Because he strangled him and we're just, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So.
Yeah, you know what? I agree.
Yeah.
1 year, 6 months.
Okay. So. You've got something on the agenda you want to speak to about next, and I already know why you put this on there, but it just says feet.
Wrestling without shoes on should be a crime, all right? I think it was Excalibur who said that when you train and wrestle without shoes on, you get calluses on your feet. That's fine. The bottom of your feet are safe. It's the stomping on your feet that is going to occur, which... Side note, I am very surprised doesn't happen very often. Like, that would be the thing I would do. But yeah, I'm not against feet. I'm not anti-feet. I'm not pro-feet. I'm in the middle. I'm ambivalent to feet. But stop wrestling without shoes on, people, please. You're going to get your toes crushed.
As well as I think it was, I can't remember what commentary said it last on Wednesday, that obviously for landings and stuff as well, it's also not safe for your landings as well. But like, each wrestler knows their own body themselves, and I think they should be able to wrestle in whatever they feel comfortable. But I totally get your point. More wrestlers should take advantage of, if you see a barefoot, just stamp on it. Give him it. Like, take advantage of that the same way you would just punch them in this, whatever. Just stamp on their feet.
Yeah. The same way everyone goes for Kenny's midsection right now.
Yeah. It's a weak point. Abuse it. Take advantage of it. Hit that weak point.
And I don't want that to happen. Don't give them a weak point.
Wait until you start seeing thumbtacks and feet.
Oh my god, no. Oh, no. Back to real crime, I guess. But I still think it should be a crime.
Unfortunately, I don't think we can allow that to be a crime. Maybe we should put it out on social media. Is barefoot wrestling a crime?
Okay, let us know. Please agree with me. So next is Megan attacks Tony after her promo.
Yeah, so Tony was doing this amazing promo. Like, while I was talking about it, I'm going to get out there. It should have main evented Revolution. Anybody who thinks any different, fuck off, basically.
Agree.
But Tony had this brilliant promo, and she was screaming timeless, and then Megan comes running out and punches her in the back of the head. So yeah, clearly it's a crime. She got punched in the back of the head. I feel like, obviously it's assault again. I don't know if it's going to go as far as ABH. I think it's maybe just common assault, because one quick punch to the back of the head and then she stood over her with that imitating pose she does.
Yeah, but we don't know how well she was afterwards.
That's a good point.
I know we saw her again on Collision, wasn't it? So she might have been seriously injured, unable to take her revenge.
But I think obviously we can muse about what, or is she or isn't she injured, but I think we also just need to go off what evidence we have on the screen, and I feel like a court looking at this would just count that as common assault.
I mean, probably, yeah. You're right. We don't know how badly she was hurt.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, it was just common assault. From the back of the head, she had no defense.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we'll go with that.
Okay.
Which means
We're back on that same issue, because last time I feel like we're going to be using this page quite a lot.
Yeah.
Because there's always a lot of assaults going on in wrestling. So we've got to talk about basically, is it high culpability, medium culpability, or lesser culpability again? I feel like from reading from last time, we can go straight to saying it was high culpability because it is a significant degree of planning or premeditation, when I can say that word right, because she knew when the promo was going to happen. She knew when to run out. She waited until the end of the promo. There was nothing to spur it on. She just ran out there and punched her in the back of the head, I think.
Yeah.
I don't think we need to even... There's not much of a discussion to have whether it's going to be one of the other ones. How much harm was caused? Very hard to say psychological harm with Toni Storm when it is Toni Storm. She's clearly had a lot of psychological damage done to her by Mariah May already, and I feel like this is very low on that level of that.
Yeah, I think we go for category 3 again. Yeah. So
some level of injury or psychological harm with limited impact upon the victim, because like you said, she was back on Saturday. She was there, so it couldn't have impacted her that much.
So again,
A3. So again, it is high level community order.
1 year, 6 months
of custody. Yes, I think. Yes. And again, we're going to go with the highest one because why not?
Fun.
It's going to make it more fun later on.
Okay, next is Christian shoves Nick and...
That's meant to say Mother Wayne.
And Mother Wayne. And Mover Wayne, it says. But, okay, Christian shoves Nick and Mother Wayne gets in the way. So that...
I want to say about this, I'm happy to see Nick Wayne showing some balls and, telling Christian what he is, because he's a dastardly heel and he's barefaced lying to everybody about everything that happens, and now Nick Wayne's starting to wise up to it and give back to thinking, I can't wait for that, despite the program between the two. This needs to happen. It's going to do so much for Nick Wayne, I think, as well.
Oh yeah, just him being with Christian has done so much for him, but moving away from him is going to do even more.
Yeah.
Do we have anything on child abuse? Because
no, unfortunately, I think he's not. Unfortunately, I don't think it is child abuse. I think he is 18 because you can't wrestle for AEW otherwise.
I think he's technically 19.
Yeah, I think he's 19 now.
It's just common assault.
Yeah, he got pushed. He laid hands on somebody else. So we need to find out what level of common assault it is again. So I don't think it's high culpability this time because
definitely not.
He's not vulnerable. It's not significant degree of planning. No weapons were involved. No strangulation. And it wasn't a group activity. Not Nick Wayne. Kip just sat in the background and just smirked the whole time, looking beautiful as he always does.
Ugh, I love him. And
it wasn't prolonged or persistent. It was a simple push. I think it's going to be lesser culpability, no reparations, excessive self-defense. It was impulsive, spontaneous, and short-lived assault. It was a push.
Yeah. Based on that, it's impulsive, spontaneous, and short-lived. So, C, lesser culpability.
And with harm, again, I think we're going to go for category 3, some level of physical injury or psychological harm with limited impact upon victim. Do you know what? I don't think it even counts as that.
No, I don't think so.
And that's the lowest form of harm. I think if the police were to be pulled up about this, they'd probably tell each other to talk it out because the family.
Yeah.
And Ashley might even leave it at that.
Yeah, I don't think it counts enough as a crime. So I agree. It'll just be deal with it yourselves.
If it was a pattern where Christian was pushing him and punching him, or not might be both punching him would be assault, but if it was a pattern, then maybe. But at the moment, it's just one-off intimidation and a push.
Yeah.
I don't think he was psychologically harmed by it.
No.
So I think actually, I don't think anything would be done over this one. I don't think.
No, I agree. I think it's.
And also think it's going to be very similar with the Mercedes Monet and Billy Stark's one later on when we get up to that. Basically, the young boys and girls are getting abused in AEW, but it's just a push. So what can the police do at the moment? Unfortunately.
Yeah. No, I agree. That's why I was a bit. Do we include it?
Yeah.
But I mean, technically, it's assault, but not enough to actually. Go to prison over.
Yeah.
Or even go to court.
Yeah, I think we wouldn't go nowhere near the court, I don't think.
Okay, MJF punches a mirror after calling himself a fucking fraud.
Yeah, so I thought I'd include this while it was what happened during Revolution, and I think our run should be from the week after Revolution all the way up into Revolution. That counts as 1 year, so I don't think it actually counts within this one because it would count in last year's one if we had done one last year. I thought it was just a good point to include this because I think it's a very good plot point with MJF and it's something worth discussing a little bit.
You see, I disagree with you not including it as like a this year thing because it was never going to be shown on Revolution. It was always going to be shown on the first Dynamite, and so I still think it should be included here.
Okay, so, but my thought process behind it was, do we count it when it was shown, or how the real courts would count it is when it actually happened?
Okay, but we are trying to be real courts, I guess. So yeah, that makes sense.
You didn't see the air quotes we were doing with the real courts. But I do like this character work with MJF. I feel like it's bringing not a new side out of him, but it's bringing more out of the side we've seen a little bit when it was the Adam Cole feud. How much he actually does want our love, but he's afraid to get it. And I feel like a lot of people are out there probably feel the same. I know I've felt the same like that in the past.
Yeah.
Do I deserve the love that people want to give me? And sometimes you act out before you're given the chance of somebody to like you and love you. Yeah. You act out so that you don't feel that rejection before it even happens.
It's his rejection sensitivity disorder. I think that's the order of the words that is getting him like that. But also, side note, MJF, if you're listening, if your feud with Adam Cole went as far as Swerve and Hangman's, I would also be saying MJF did nothing wrong because you were the good guy in that story, and I will stand by that. Not that you're listening, but if you do, someone send just this part to him. You've
been waiting for get that out there since Adam Cole came back, haven't you?
Yeah, I'm sorry, but Adam Cole was the bad guy in that story. MJF was the good guy. And I'm not someone who defends MJF. I'm not a massive fan of him.
No, you hated him. You hated him the whole time he's been on the screen up until Adam Cole got hold of him.
So I think that says something.
You'd literally, he'd start talking and you'd sit there on your phone just ignoring him because you hated him that much.
I do.
But now he's won you round and
he has. I'm not the biggest fan of him, but I don't ignore his promos anymore.
But yeah, I think it's just good to highlight the fact that stuff that is like mental health being shown in a positive light in something like wrestling. It's come a long way from where Eugene, etc., being made the butts of the jokes because of their disabilities. It's now, a core part of the storyline without it being the butt of the joke, and it brings a positive light on these, and that everybody, even the big heroic wrestlers, are dealing with these problems, and it's something everybody deals with.
Yeah, I agree.
And while we're talking about MJF, we might as well jump it in here. I'm very surprised that at the end nothing happened between MJF and Hangman.
Oh my god, me too. And Renee clearly as well. She was like, I'm out. Nah, not dealing with this. And yet she could have stayed. It was fine.
I absolutely love Renee's face when when shit's about to go down. It's like, nah, I'm done. See you later. I'll get it off. That's a you problem.
I don't blame her. Hangman accidentally injured her once, so get out of the way.
But yeah, I'm very surprised nothing happened there.
Yeah, same. But I'm so glad their feud is continuing.
Yeah, it's going to be an amazing feud. It's only just started, and there's going to be a slow burn. And I don't know if everybody's seen this on social media, but I'm loving hangman pants or trousers to the UK people. We used to have them on flames, big flames going down them on fire, and while he was angry, his pants reflected that, and as he's slowly calming down, and Christopher Daniels has helped him, understand his anger and get past it. He's the fire's starting to burn out. If you watch Revolution, he's got this embers now and the smoke, and I think it's slowly transformation back into the old hangman, and when he comes out with the proper spurs, everybody's going to be happy, especially if they're artless.
Obviously. I also thought that they were leaves, by the way, because of his whole blue sky thing. I thought they were leaves, and then I saw the flames at the bottom, and I was like, oh, okay, that makes more sense. So next was Penelope attacks Willow with a chair, Stat comes in save, and Megan attacks both.
Yeah.
So what happened was that Penelope...
So they had the match, and then Penelope, after the match, while Willow was doing a little clappy thing with the audience, everybody was getting into it, and Willow had a big smile on her face. Penelope comes and ruins the day by hitting her in the stomach with a chair and then smacking her on the back with a chair. And then Stat comes and helps her, and then Megan comes out and just clotheslines them both, and then does her finisher on Stat.
Yeah. So clearly... that would have been common assault again on Willow.
Right, so we go back to the listening. So I think because she involved the chair, it may border on ABH, actual body harm, but again, we seen Willow on... Did we see Willow on Saturday? Am I misremembering?
I don't think we did.
No. But I don't think there would have been enough damage done with it to be actual body harm. I think it would, especially in the ethos of AEW, chair shots were hurt, don't really carry on other than Hangman's one where he killed Swerve. But yeah, I think like you said, it's common assault on this one again, involving a weapon for Penelope's initial attack on Willow. On Willow, yes.
And then
so we do the how serious this one was, and then we'll go to the next bit, do it bit by bit.
So
I think straight away, as before, it's high culpability because it's use of a dangerous weapon, and yes, a chair may not count as a dangerous weapon, but in wrestling it is, I think.
Oh, I think it's a dangerous weapon in and out of wrestling.
Wait, I wouldn't want it.
Do you want someone to hit you with a chair?
That is very good. I wouldn't want to be twatted with a chair. That is very true. So I think again we go straight for A, culpability. High culpability. It's whether it was serious physical harm, some level of physical harm, or in the middle. I think because she got back up to be clotheslined by Megan, I think it was some level of physical injury. I don't think it's in the middle, and it's definitely not the higher end. I don't think.
Yeah. So A and 3 again, which gives her 1 year 6 months. Yeah. There we go. And then we shall get to where
it's when Stat comes out and saves. So with this one, I've got a bit I wanted to read about this one. Where was it? Can self-defense be used for somebody else in the UK? Yes, you can act in self-defense even when you are helping somebody else. This is if they are subject to a criminal act, which Willow was, and the defendant's actions are considered to involve reasonable force. So I feel like Stat has done nothing wrong here.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with that
because she came out to save Willow. So I think for this one,
Stat is safe.
Stat is safe.
She has no crime on her log so far. And then Megan attacks both. Did Megan do it in self-defense?
No,
because her teaming up with Penelope.
No, because they were both. Penelope was away from danger. They were both in the ring by themselves, as far as I remember. But even if she wasn't still in the ring, they weren't in any state of where they could be attacking Penelope. So she just came in and clotheslined the fuck out of them, basically.
Okay. Yeah, I can't quite remember. I'm pretty sure you're right, though. She did just...
And with it being a clothesline and a finisher, I think, again, common assault. Was it predetermined? No.
No.
She just came out to come and do it. No victim of them was due to age, personal characteristics or circumstances. No weapon was used. Nobody was strangled. It wasn't a group attack, really. It was like just ran out. And it wasn't prolonged or persistent. She clotheslined them and then did the finisher to them. So with medium culpability, I don't think it was either of them as well. Use of weapon, lesser role in a group activity, and cases falling between A or C because of a couple of these factors. No. I think again it falls into C, lesser culpability. It was an impulse, spontaneous and short-lived assault. So I feel like it fits into that one. And how much harm? I think again straight away to category 3. I think. Yeah.
So
one. No, it was C and 3. So it
C and 3 is 1 year 6 months.
No, it wasn't. Was it? Go back to the thingy.
Yeah.
So C and 3.
Oh yeah, I'm so used to A.
You sort of straight to A. Boom. So it's a
26 weeks custody.
Yeah. Or a band B fine, but we're going to go custody. Yeah.
So we've got 1.5 for
Penelope,
and then
I've got separate headings for them. So yeah, are we counting this? I'm assuming we're counting this as one for each person. So like Willow, she'll get
26 weeks.
Yeah. So for Penelope on Willow it was 1.5, and for Megan on Willow it was 26 weeks. And then Stat it was 26 weeks as well, I think.
Okay. Yeah. No, I think that works.
Yeah. We kind of covered this one a little bit before. And I don't think it really needs much covering again, because it's kind of the same with the Christian and Nick Wayne situation. During a promo of Monet was doing a promo, Billy came out, wound Monet up, and she gave her a big prod on the head. I think if we went to the police with that one, I think they'd laugh at us. I'll be honest.
100%.
That's a police in Liverpool. You get laughed out. So I don't think there's anything to be done about that one.
No.
It's just going to be wait and see when the actual match happens, but I think it's just going to be a really good match.
So happy for Billy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Like, I was a bit upset with Billy when she hadn't won the Ring of Honor title off Athena. I feel like the first time was definitely the time, but if it wasn't going to be the first time, it was going to be the second time it should have been, and it happened neither time. So I'm happy that she's getting a bit of more of a push, and she's appearing on AEW, and she's going to be getting the Monet match.
So proud of her. She deserves it.
Yeah, the Monet match. So what we're going to do now, take a little 2-minute break, have a breather, and then we'll come back and do the collision.
Yeah, we'll come back in about 2 minutes for you. Maybe a bit longer for us.
It won't be 2 minutes. No. About 5 seconds.
It'll be 30 seconds for you and probably about half an hour for us because I need a coffee. And we are back with Collision.
Okay, so to start off with Collision, we have Brian Cage, the Murder Hawk, and Donkzilla attacking what at the time was for unknown people. But thanks to a great internet and social media campaign, we have found out who the 4 people were. They were named Brian Saturn, Matt Van de Graaff, El Fantel, and Sonico. So, yes, they were attacked by the Cage, Murder Hawk, and Donkzilla, being slammed into the wall and being punched, etc., kicked. So, let's have a look and see what we can think of what they were doing.
Okay, so I mean, they were in a match later on.
Yes.
So it didn't cause too much physical harm.
Yeah. Well, when you say they were in a match later on, I feel like that was against their will, I'll be honest.
You know what? That is true.
Because Brian Cage,
they had to carry them out.
Literally had 2 guys on him and then threw them over his shoulders.
You know what? I am actually going to go with ABH because they were unable to defend themselves later on. They got to get carried out.
And they were getting slammed into the wall. I think actual bodily harm was being caused. Yes, I do agree on that.
So, high culpability?
So, significant degree of planning of predetermination. I say possibly yes, because they found them out at the back. They attacked them. Yeah,
Yeah, so I'm going high culpability as well.
I think as well as prolonged a persistent assault.
Oh god.
They didn't once to beat him up a little bit. They just carried on, throwing them into wolves, punching them and kicking them. It wasn't just a little quick thing. Yes, I think that one.
Side note, Dunkzilla didn't look like he wanted to do it, but he did it anyway. And I'm going to go category 2, so for the harm.
Yeah, so category 1, serious physical injury or serious psychological harm. Category 3 is some level of physical injury or psychological harm, and category 2 falls in between the two of them. So yeah, I agree with that. I think it's in somewhere in the middle. It wasn't quite really bad, and it wasn't quite nice, I was about to say, but none of it's nice.
No.
I understand what I mean. So yeah, so it's A and 2, I think, for them.
A and 2 would be 2 years 6 months.
Yeah, and that's per person as well.
Per person they have injured.
Yeah, so 2 years 6 months for that one. Yes.
Yep. Okay, so next up we've got during the match, Preston and Jack tried to attack Hobbs. Bad idea. But he beats them first. Match carries on. Because the ref let it happen, it doesn't count.
Yeah. So as we stated at the start, if the referee sees something and the match carries on, we're going to count that as not being a criminal activity. And clearly the referee was like, yeah, go for it, mate, see what happens. Yeah. And they fucked around and they found out, basically. Yep. But then after the match, the Foothouse starts to surround the ring and threaten Hobbs. But then 80's vision kicked in and the outrunners start running out. And then, unfortunately, the camera angle changes to where we can't really see who hit who first. So, while I feel like something kind of may have happened, because obviously they were being threatened, because we didn't see what happened past that point, I feel like, for me, it's going to be a wash.
Yeah, I agree. Like, we don't know who hit first.
We don't know what really happened. We couldn't really see what went on with that one. So, I think we just keep that one as nobody's culpable for that one. It's just one of them things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys are lucky. You get away with that crime. Okay, this one I love. So Megan attacks Thunder and makes her ovaries bigger because she's made them swollen. I love it. That I came up with that. I'm quite proud of that. So Thunder, obviously in her promo, was like, I have got bigger ovaries than you have brain cells. Megan comes and attacks her.
And literally kicks her in the ovaries.
Kicks her in the ovaries. At first I said, oh, well, now she's got none because they've shriveled up. But then I thought about it. And I was like, no, they have swollen. Now they are even bigger. So, yeah.
Yeah, it's clearly assault.
Common assault.
Oh, well, yes, I think it's common assault, yes.
Actually... No, because she was injured.
Yeah, she was getting strapped up, wasn't it? By
ABH.
Yeah.
It's just ABH.
So yeah, I think ABH because the medics were strapping her up. Some actual harm must have happened for the medic to get involved. Yeah. To be doing that. So yeah, I agree actually with you on that one. So I think it is ABH.
So it'll be culpability is high culpability, I'd say.
It's a sufficient degree of planning. I don't think
she planned it.
I think she just seen Thunder and went swinging, basically.
See, there's this bit here. Use of a highly dangerous weapon or weapon equivalent. Does her body count as a weapon equivalent? Because she's strong. She is strong as fuck.
However much John I can't say that name, just wants to say that his body is a dangerous weapon. I don't think a body counts as a dangerous weapon, unfortunately. I think it's talking about like if you pick up something in your house to swing at somebody, it counts as a weapon.
All right, fine. But it was prolonged and persistent because she didn't stop, did she? In my memory.
She punched her and she went on the floor, and while she was on the floor, she kicked her. So yeah, I would say that persistence because it counts as being kicked while she was on the floor, and obviously it's her. Yeah.
So culpability A.
Yeah.
And I would say category 2 again because she was strapped up.
But she was well enough to get back into the match and actually have a good match. She wasn't injured to the point where she couldn't fight back.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think falling between 1 and 3, where 3 is obviously not much has happened. I think again, like I agree with you with that one. Category 2.
Although I will say, the medic or the doc was definitely going to say, no, she shouldn't fight. But...
Yeah, you tough on the version, she's not going to fight.
No thanks.
Yeah, so it is A and 2.
2, which would be 2 years and 6 months.
Yes. 2 years,
2 years, 6 months. Gotta say, she is racking up the time, isn't she?
I think if the Don Callis family hadn't attacked so many people, I think she would be front runner for this week for number one criminal.
Definitely.
Because talk about Don Callis family during the match of Mark versus Donkzilla, Cage sneaks in the back and pushes Mark Briscoe off the ropes. So obviously the referee didn't see this, so we're going to count this as an illegal activity.
Yep.
While a push generally probably wouldn't count as an assault, as we were talking before with Christian, I think it does count as an assault because 1, he was pushed off something.
Yeah.
2, he was pushed into something as well.
And it was blindsided. He had no defense.
Yes.
He came up from behind him, pushed him. There was no way he could defend himself. It definitely counts as assault.
Yes.
But again, it'd just be common assault.
Yeah.
And I clicked on the wrong one. And then again, I think it would be low culpability though. Yeah,
because I don't feel like, well, they probably planned to do something during the match. I don't feel like they planned to do specifically damage.
Yeah.
Like distract the referee, something along them lines.
Yeah.
It was more of an attack of opportunity that, he's up there, let's push him off.
Yeah. I mean, they were always going to interfere.
Yeah.
But it was just a when. They didn't know.
Yeah, so
it was short-lived.
Yeah, so I feel like you said, less accountability, short-lived, wasn't planned out, and there was no weapons or excessive force was used. So yeah, I agree, less accountability.
And then category 3, some level of physical injury. I mean, I wouldn't really say there was any physical injury, but this is the lowest we can get.
Yeah. So it was C and 3. That comes out as 26 weeks of custody.
Yeah, I'm looking at the wrong one. 26 weeks. There we go.
Okay, yeah. And to carry that on, after that match, Cage and the Murder Hawk bring out the 4 people we were talking before.
Yeah.
That's the next one we're going to talk about. We talked about that before. What I think we do need to discuss is, does this count as a separate assault? Or does it include the time they did before?
I want to say it is the same assault. It's the same people.
Yes.
They are injured from that first attack, so they can't defend themselves or anything. It just depends on how long they left them.
Well, it was a good half an hour, 45 minutes between the original attack and this attack. So they've left them out the back on their arses somewhere. And then they've gone and carried on, they've got involved in other matches and stuff, and then they've gone back and picked them up and dragged them out. So I think this actually would count as a second attack and a second criminal activity.
You might be right. There is no guide on this though, so it's just going to be up to us. I'm going to agree with you, as much as I hate agreeing with you. It's a separate attack just because of how long they were left.
Yeah.
Clearly, they were really injured. If it was 45 minutes roughly, you said.
Something like that.
So, yeah, and I think this one is even worse.
Because like if anything, if they were hurt in the first one in the slightest, they would have been with the medics or the doctors. And obviously we haven't seen it, but it feels like Cage and the Murder Hawk have just burst in, grabbed them, put them over their shoulders and just walked off with them to the middle of the ring.
Yeah.
And all this happened before they got at least attacked in some sort of way before the bell was rung.
Yeah.
And then people got chucked in the ring, the bell was rung, the match happened, but it still all happened before the bell rang. So I do think this is a separate, because they've gone out, collected the people and brought them back for some more beatings. So I think it counts as a separate occasion.
Yeah.
Because of the predetermined factors in it, I feel like it's going to be 2.6 years again. As discussed with the first attack, because it's not just opportunity. They've gone and pulled them from somewhere, dragged them out to the ring, and beat them up.
Yeah, they found them. They went looking for them.
Exactly. So you're looking for the fight at that point. You're going to be high culpability, and he's carrying on beating on an injured person. So I think it's going to be 2.6 years added on to your thinking.
Okay, so next Mox comes out and attacks Swerve with a crowbar, and then curb stomps him onto his injured ear. Yeah. That predetermined 100%. He had to get a weapon.
Yeah.
Caused some injury.
I feel like he did some actual body harm. You're not going to swing a crowbar at somebody's knee and not leave some damage behind. Then you've also got to include the stamping on his already hurt ear.
Yeah.
So I feel like it's going to be ABH, actual bodily harm. I don't think it's quite as far as grievous bodily harm, but then it could be.
It could be because
grievous bodily harm means assault that has caused serious physical harm. It doesn't have to be permanent or dangerous. For example, a broken bone could come out to GBH. Oh, that's your dad. Your GBH there. You're just going to swing a crowbar at somebody's leg. You're going to break the leg.
Yeah.
Obviously, in wrestling, you'll probably be back next week jumping off things. But in real life, if you got a crowbar to your kneecap, you're not going to be walking for a good couple of weeks.
You see, I'm more thinking about his ear. That is extra. That was already injured, right? Pretty seriously. Like a busted eardrum is pretty bad.
Yeah.
And then he got stamped on it again.
Yeah.
That is serious physical harm.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So even if he didn't break a bone, he caused some physical harm.
Yeah.
Like he showed pain on his face when he was trying to get back up.
Yeah.
So I'm going GBH for this one.
So we're agreement then, grievous bodily harm for this one then. Yeah.
Inflicted grievous bodily harm. This has a whole separate thing, I think.
Yes, there's a whole separate table for this one. Again, all the links to these tables and all the information we're accessing will be on our website once the podcast is up. And it's the same as the other one. So how culpable was he? Was a specific degree of planning or premeditation? I feel like with Mox, he knew the promo was going to happen. He's going to be coming out there. He dressed all in black. He had a crowbar in hand. He planned this.
100%.
Use of a highly dangerous weapon or weapon equivalent. Again, yes, he did that. So I think there's no other way of saying it other than it's a highly culpable for this one. He did this. He planned it. He brought a weapon ready to do some damage.
100% agree.
Yeah. And then when we're talking about harm, I feel like we've got to go through these ones. It's the first time we've looked at these. So category 1 is particularly grave or life-threatening injury caused. I don't think it's life-threatening.
No.
Injury resulting in physical or psychological harm resulting in lifelong dependency on third-party care or medical treatment. Like I said, it's wrestling. Swerve will be back jumping off things next week. Offence results in permanent, irreversible injury or condition which has essential long-term effects on the victim's ability to carry out their normal day-to-day activities. Again, it's...
No, I don't think so. I mean, it depends on how badly he injured his ear, but we'll never know that. Yeah. Category 2, though, is grave injury, which I think I'm going with right now. With offence results in a permanent, irreversible injury or condition not falling within Category 1.
Okay, and just to cover all the bases, Category 3 is all other cases of serious harm, all other cases of wounding. I wouldn't say grave injury, because grave injury to me implicates like he's going to be on death's door by it. I
don't think that's quite what they mean.
Yeah.
Because they've got grave and or life-threatening in Category 1. Grave injury to me is just, it's serious. And you know what, maybe you're right. It's very, very serious is what I'm thinking, but it's not life-threatening. But now we have read Category 3. I am going with that one instead.
Okay.
It was serious harm.
Yeah.
And probably re-wounded that ear.
Yes. Yeah. Okay.
At the very least.
So it was A and Category 3, correct?
Yes.
Yeah. So looking at A and Category 3.
1 to 3 years custody.
So we're going to whack him with 3 years because, put it on
Sorry,
top.
Mox.
Yeah. Sorry,
3
Mox.
years. Yeah.
So the last one is when Megan comes out and attacks Thunder after a match with Penelope.
Nope. This was after their match. So Megan attacks Thunder Rosa after their match.
Oh yeah. I got me totally mixed up there. Yes, yeah. It was Thunder Rosa versus Megan, and then Megan attacks her after the match, and then Tony comes out to save. So obviously, clearly, Megan is going to be straight away at an assault again because she's on a fucking tear with the assault. She's going mental with them. Do you think it's common assault?
I'm going to common assault.
Yeah.
It'll be. Let me just have another quick look. No, I know it's that one. It's common assault. It's this one I wanted to look at.
Okay.
Lesser culpability, I think.
Yeah, she wasn't predetermined. She wasn't using a weapon.
She was just pissed.
Yeah. And for this one, I think it's just category 3. So
yeah,
it's so I think it's going to get the lowest.
C3 is just 26 weeks. The lowest she has so far.
What I do want to talk about on this one, though, is I think Toni Storm is culpable of something on this one as well. I think she has committed a crime.
Yeah.
Because in the self-defense laws, you can act in self-defense when helping somebody else. This is subject to criminal act if they are subject to a criminal attack and the defendant's actions are considered to involve reasonable force in the circumstances if they are going to be saving somebody.
However,
Megan had already dropped Thunder. Thunder was out of the way. There was no more harm that Megan was going to be doing to Thunder Rosa when they had their face-to-face. So for Toni to start swinging at Megan Bayne, I feel like Toni was just doing it because she wanted to hit her rather than to defend somebody.
Yeah, I fully agree.
Like I get from the story.
She could pretend it was self-defense. Like, well, she just attacked my friend, so I came out to defend her. But if we look at it objectively, she wanted to attack Megan, and she's just used this as an opportunity.
Yeah, as an excuse to, like, I want to get my revenge on Megan. I'm gonna go out there and punch her, basically.
So I would say it was just a straight up attack. It wasn't self-defense.
So I'm gonna go. Obviously, it was a couple of punches, and then Megan got her attacks back, and then hit her with her finisher. I don't think Megan should get any more time for doing this. I think in Megan's case of this one, it was actually self-defense.
Yes, definitely self-defense at that point.
Yeah, I feel like for Toni, it was common assault.
Yep.
And I don't think she planned it, so I don't think she's high culpability. And it was no weapons or etc. being used.
But it was prolonged, persistent assault, wasn't it?
No, definitely Toni only got a couple of hits in, and then Megan got up. And
I must be remembering wrong then. Okay, so with less, I think it's going to be lesser culpability because no weapons were used. It wasn't excessive self-defense. It was impulsive, spontaneous, and a short-lived assault. Yeah.
Yeah.
So C and 3.
Yeah, category 3 for harm. So some level of physical injury. Yes, I feel like she's punching her. There's going to be some sort, even if it is Megan and a beast.
Yeah.
So C3, I think she's going to get 26 weeks for that one.
Yeah,
Yeah. With all that as well, I want to say how much I feel like where Megan becoming a beast in this is just great for her because, like, I think her story has gone out throughout all of the women's matches. She's not forgotten her old grudges with other wrestlers just because she's gone straight for because she's going for the title. They've not just been like, okay, you're going for the title now. All the other stuff it gets forgotten about. She's still swinging for everybody that she doesn't like. So I feel like it's very cohesive as across the whole women's division, and I like that. It brings it all together.
Yeah, I like that too. Side note, Thunder Rosa, stop being salty about her not saying hi to you. Like, get over yourself. Like, I feel like that's a dumb reason to be mad at someone.
But yeah,
Megan is a beast, and I'm interested to see how it's gonna go with her going for the belt.
Yeah, I feel like I don't feel like it's time for her to win it yet, but I feel like she's gonna have a strong showing, and it's gonna be a really good match when them two get together.
Oh, definitely. I mean, Toni's amazing on her own.
Yeah, Toni's just been so good. Like, number one. You could argue she's been number one across the board, male or female, in wrestling, in American wrestling at the moment.
Oh, my God, I agree. So, yep, that is it for this week. I hope you all enjoyed.
Yes, thank you very much for listening along. We will be back next week. And in the meantime, I hope you have a great day.
See you next week.